What's going on, Button Mashers? I'm Mr. Gamer.
And I'm Kitty Duvall.
And welcome to SBRReports episode 55. Smash Direct, Fortnite on Android, EA changes their ways, and more.
Did you miss me?
I mean, it was, not gonna lie, it was definitely...
Were you lonely?
It was difficult because I didn't have anyone else to have any banter with. It was definitely, it was just me and the, other voices in my head basically not stopping me from continuously talking. So that was great.
Should I just not leave again?
I will say that I do prefer to do this with you as I have someone else to have some banter with. I will definitely say that.
So what you're saying is that I shouldn't go save the world. Or I don't even know what you told everybody.
I did tell people that you were saving the world.
Oh, okay, cool. So we didn't go with the kidnapping story. Awesome.
Okay, just for the record, I don't remember any kidnapping story. But going on to our first story is unfortunately not the best one. So, not sure if you heard, but gaming site IGN has removed a review for a video game called Dead Cells. It is a very popular video game. You can get it soon. You can get it on the Nintendo Switch, I believe, and you can also get it on Steam. I played it in early access. It is a roguelike platformer. Very, very nice. But the point of all this is that the writer for IGN plagiarized the review. It seems as if he had stolen the review from a smaller YouTube channel called Boomstick Gaming. Now, people have covered this before, but I still want to give my 2 cents in. I find it interesting how people were defending the writer. People were saying that, oh, it's parallel thinking. They just happen to be thinking about the same things at the same time in the same way.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you there because I remember college and being in that homeroom and how essentially it was beat into my head that if you plagiarize, you're going to get expelled.
Yeah, like, what was the...
like, there's no parallel thinking. Oh, you two might have had the same idea, but no.
Like what exactly was it? It was,
stupid website teachers with you.
Yes, I don't remember what the name of that website was.
Plagiarize me? I don't know. No. That sounds more like a bad channel. Anyway.
That really does. But yes, so Philip Mewson, the no longer writer for IGN, is fired. At first it was just simply, we're just going to look, IGN was just going to look into it. But as the video started to gain traction, you really find less and less excuses for the writer. It was kind of painfully obvious. Now, the question I will kind of pass off to our listeners is, do you think that it was malicious? Because on my hand, I'm not sure I would necessarily say it was malicious. I will say that he believed that he could get away with it because of the size of the YouTuber versus, I'm writing for IGN. People are going to look at us before they look at this other smaller person who's gonna really care about that.
It probably wasn't malicious, but it was lazy, and it makes IGN look so bad. It's like, come on,
because
son.
They fired the guy, right? It's okay. Everything's completely fine.
I mean, now IGN's gonna have to start putting their writers' work through that website.
I'm going to try to remember what that website is, because I know you had to submit it and it would do some checks.
I hated that.
I don't even remember what it is. But going on to our next story, for those of you who are unaware, there is a popular website called EmuParadise.me. Now, the thing about EmuParadise that is changing is that they are no longer having emulators. There was a whole very large and a bit detailed statement stating that they would be changing. Now, to keep note, it's not similar to what Nintendo had other sites do. There was no specific action, like legal action, taken against EmuParadise for them to do this. This was their own doing because they've actually had these battles I'm assuming they've had these legal battles as stated on the website for quite a while.
I mean, given what Nintendo did, they're dodging a bullet.
I would agree. They will still have... Now, though, if you were to go to their website, under the featured sections, you'll still see ROMs, ISOs, and games. They no longer actually have ROMs anymore. As a matter... you know what? Shut my mouth. As of recording, if you were to click on that, you still see plenty of ROMs. So I'm going to assume that this is going to be later that's going to be removed. The statement release states that they're going to be only having their emulators, but as of recording this, they do still have ROMs. Now, we at SBR do not support piracy. Though, I will say that for those who no longer have the hardware to play, the emulators are there for that. I don't necessarily see the reason to keep the emulators without the ROMs, though. Because if an emulator is on the computer and none of the games that you have, like, for example, if I owned Kirby's Dream Land, but I no longer can use my Kirby Dream Land ROM, but I could still have the emulator that can play Kirby's Dream Land? Like, what's the point?
You've lost me.
So the idea is that EmuParadise will only be carrying emulators. So they will only be carrying the quote unquote systems to play the games, but they won't be carrying the games themselves.
Maybe they put out this thing so people can get the ROMs and the emulators and have this thingy still. I don't know.
I suppose. That's just really curious.
But I really feel like we're going into snitching territory, so
I mean, it's something that we have to report on, and so we are going to be doing just that. Now, still going on to the PC, but let's go into the more higher resolution gaming. For those of you who are interested, the open beta exclusively on Blizzard Battle.net is available for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. By the way, this is free. Now, let me rephrase that. You getting a Battle.net account is free. For those players who pre-purchased Black Ops 4, they'll be invited to a full day of early access beginning 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on August 10th. Now, here's the thing. The specs. Because it's very, 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 very important for you to realize that these are the specs. It even says it on the website. Specs are for the beta only. You got that right? Beta only. Specs. Just in case you weren't aware. So we have a minimum Windows 7 64-bit or later. Okay, that's, I would like to say standard. Intel Core i5. That's where I've gotten Catherine. 8 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, yeah. 25 gigabyte hard drive space. Ooh, this is going to be a beefy game. NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 2 gigabyte or GTX 1050 2 gigabyte or an AMD Radeon HD 7850. I actually don't know many computers that have AMDs in them, but I've got an NVIDIA, and I see Miss Duval just like, yeah, yeah, sure, keep going.
I feel like this is you when I'm talking about makeup and the different types of brushes that you need to put on a highlighter.
Because you need many brushes.
It's art.
Exactly. DirectX version 11, which is the same for the recommended specs. Obviously, a broadband internet connection, because obviously you have to play this online. And then to have your sound card DirectX compatible. Now, here's what they recommend.
Oh, Lord.
Now, Windows 10, I'm not quite sure why it really matters. I know a whole lot of people still use Windows 7. An Intel Core i7 or AMD equivalent. Okay, I suppose to get the better processing power. 12 gigabytes of RAM instead of 8. Now, that I could actually manage, because what you don't want is you don't want a significant drop in quality with your RAM, because I can't imagine how much this is going to how much processing power this is actually going to take, especially if they recommend that you have an i7. Now, they significantly upgrade the graphics card that they want you to have for this, going from a GTX 660 to a GTX 970, which I have. Also, either a GTX 1060 6 gigabyte or an AMD Radeon R9 390 or AMD RX 580. Once again, the DirectX, the network, and the sound card are all basically the same thing. I am only reporting this because I'm sure that we have some listeners who would love to actually get into some BLOPS 4.
I started falling asleep. Where are we at now?
We're already at the next part of the story.
Oh, okay, cool. Cause what the hell?
Yeah, it's fine.
You nerds.
Well, hopefully us nerds will be getting PvP. Maybe. Just like, how long do we have to wait for trading, Mr. Duvall? How long? What's that?
I'm sorry, we talking about Pokemon Go? Because I gave up on her a long time ago. I hate the fact that rhymed.
Pokemon Go home. Anywho. But no, like, how long was it that Niantic had said, yeah, we're going to be introducing trading and then gym battling, and we got gym battles.
When it opened, when it first came out, that was like the whole commercial. And I remember that commercial because I remember being hyped for that commercial.
And hopefully maybe we'll be getting it. According to Niantic's head of product marketing, Anne Butenmuller, she said, we are working on the PvP mode, which will soon appear. Sure. Let's...
I mean, with the new Pokemon Switch games coming out, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, it would make sense that they would start pushing out the PvP, because can't you do that in the Let's Go games?
I'm actually not quite sure, considering the fact that Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee really just seemed like Pokemon Go on the Switch. I'm pretty sure I've said that a few times.
Man, you've said that every time this has been mentioned. It's almost as if you're taking salt from the Dead Sea.
Okay, I'm sorry, but look at it.
Watch your sodium. It looks cute.
Okay.
Watch your sodium intake.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Gamer.
Anyway, let's talk about the one game that no one can ever walk away from. Fortnite. So, it turns out that Epic CEO Tim Sweeney is explaining why you actually won't be getting Fortnite on Google Play, but you will be getting it on Android, but it's going to have its own launcher. Now, I'm not really sure why, but hopefully he can explain to us. So, on open platforms like PC, Mac, and Android, Epic's goal is to bring games directly to customers. We believe gamers will benefit from competition among software sources on Android. Competition among services gives consumers lots of great choices and enables the best to succeed. Avoiding the 30% store tax is a part of Epic's motivation. And a high cost world of game developers, 70% must cover all of the costs developing, operating, and supporting their games. Because also take into account, Fortnite is still free. Now, the other thing to note, this open beta, this beta that you will be able to play on Android is still cross-play, but if you played it on the PS4, you won't be able to play it on this device.
Because PlayStation sucks.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
They're greedy. They're greedy, and unfortunately they're greedy because they can.
No one plays the Vita anymore. Oh, let me take that back. No one in the Western Sphere plays the Vita anymore.
I'm about to say, there's quite a few people who
let
still play
it go. Be like Elsa and let it go.
Now, so he answers quite a few questions. One of them, last year, cross-play and cross-progression were basically non-issues in the industry, and all of a sudden it feels like the customer mentality has done a 180 and what they expect out of those features. Do you think that's all about Fortnite, or the time is just right? And the CEO basically summarized, the world has changed. Games like Fortnite are more fun to play with your real-world friends, and they're so accessible that anyone can play. It also helps that your game is free, cough, cough. If each group of friends in high school and office were segregated into 5 incompatible gamer groups across PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and mobile, then the whole experience breaks down socially. So it's essential for games to transcend platform boundaries.
Except for PlayStation. Because they're that kid in the sandbox.
I mean, they're big, so they don't necessarily have to...
I'm going to be riding on them until they fix that. That's petty.
I mean, hopefully. So, another question. To talk about the Unreal Marketplace for a second, it's well established that if you run an online store, you get to keep 30% if you want to. Why did you decide to make that change? He answers, As game developers ourselves, we came to see a 30% as a bad deal in the case of storefronts on PC and smartphone. We know from Fortnite that the cost of payment processing, bandwidth, and support are far less than 30% when operated at high volume. So we gave Unreal Engine Marketplace content developers the kind of deal that we'd be happy with if we were in their shoes.
I really sense the hackers this waiting.
Oh, well...
Ooh, I'm sensing it.
Now,
my hacker senses are tingling.
Now, that part is not talked about in this article, but it does raise a very good point. Super Mario Run, when it first came out, oh boy, was that game pirated to all hell.
Oh.
Man, because at first it was like, oh yay, an endless runner. Oh yay, it's free, cool. And then it's like, yeah, free-ish, and then it's like, oh wait, I gotta pay for the rest of these levels. Nope. .apk. .apk is the format of an Android application. For
Thank
those
you.
Of you.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Yes, for those of you unaware, .apk is the Android application format. So now, here's the thing.
What's the thing?
I once again see this as Fortnite protecting what's theirs. And I say this because the moment that it gets on mobile, there's going to be people who are going to try and emulate it. Now, the fact that Epic is actually going to have its own launcher, I think is a fantastic idea for Epic Games. Because that's going to make it really difficult. Not to mention, you're going to have to sign into the account unless you just keep making junk accounts, which you can do. But are you really going to try to do something like that on an Android phone? Who am I kidding? Of course people are going to do it. Fortnite.
Also, people like to just do things because they like to do things.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like making fun of Nintendo? Because that's what these people like to do.
It's like making fun of politicians. It never gets old.
Apparently, NetEase Games really wants to just slam their insert phallic thing here right in front of Nintendo and say, haha, we made something better than you. Why don't you take mobile games seriously? So, as reported by NintendoLife.com, NetEase, one of the largest video game companies in China and the world, apparently has been causing all sorts of trouble for a video game that, looking at the screenshots, look oddly like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, with the name of Operation Wind Cloud Island. Okay. Apparently, it's their answer to Breath of the Wild, and also taking a stab at Nintendo with mobile games. Because I guess the real mobile games. Let's think about the mobile games that Nintendo hasn't had. There was Miitomo, which is dead. Do you still play Pocket Camp?
Who?
Animal Crossing.
Who?
Gotcha. All right. So
I don't know her.
Wow. There's also Super Mario Run, which is still available. And let's see. I guess technically Nintendo. Yeah, no, Niantic, Nintendo, Game Freak. Wait, can you technically say that's Nintendo, though? No, that's definitely more Niantic. So yeah, I guess you could say they really haven't been taking mobile in the sense of phones very seriously. And now people are wanting to really talk about that. It seems as if social media representatives of NetEase took to the smartphone app TapTap, never heard of that either, posting messages that seemingly mock Nintendo fans for not considering mobile games to be real games. Do you know any Nintendo fans doing this? Like, can I meet you? Like, because I don't
look. This happened in China. I'm sure there's plenty of them in China doing this.
Okay, so now that's on the other hand. Now, NetEase would love to partner with Nintendo and truly make some amazing mobile games. Not quite sure how that's going to happen if someone in your company really just wants to say, ha-ha, right to Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not quite sure that's going to work out very well in your favor.
It's like, I don't understand what these companies do when they hire these social media people who just like to shoot them in the foot. Not why do you hire these people?
Not every single time you get not every single time you hire a social media person are you gonna get Wendy's. Okay, it's just it's not a guaranteed
like
thing.
Arby's A+ on their social media and ad campaigns.
Okay, yeah, they could do some interesting things with like
they're at anime conventions now.
What?
I forgot what con it was, but people like were getting like coupons and stuff, and like if you visit the booth, they'll add your name to this cardboard and made this samurai looking thing. It was amazing. That's good marketing. This isn't good marketing.
Okay, then. So, on to our last and final story.
Is it really our last and final story?
Well, okay, today. Oh my goodness, Mr. Ball.
We still have to direct.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh man, it's been a day. Okay, on to our next story then. Oh boy. Okay. So, we get to talk about EA, my favorite company ever. You know I just absolutely love EA. Sorry, I couldn't.
Oh, that was in my ear.
I'm so sorry, I couldn't finish that properly. I had something in my.
But hey,
throat.
they're making a change.
Sure.
They're coming. They got the boom box for you, Mr. Gamer. Outside.
Yeah. Okay.
Playing Toto.
Anytime you are done. Oh my goodness. Anytime you're done.
Oh, I missed you too. Anyway, continue.
So, EA's Vice President of Strategic Growth, Matt Bilby, stated that they have a new directive called EA's Moral Compass. I know, right? Like, I'm hearing this and I'm just like, what?
What in the 5 circles? What is this?
So, according to Matt, we launched our game in November, the game being Star Wars Battlefront 2, in November of last year, and clearly we didn't get it quite right, you think? Instead of coming out of the gate and sprinting like we always wanted to, we had to take a step back and make sure that we were delivering a game that players really wanted, especially because you definitely didn't listen to them, but you know, when you make mainstream news about making a Guinness World Record about something terrible, maybe you might have to listen to that. Now, I will say that their new moral compass, which is their idea of we're going to be testing early, getting feedback from gamers before they release their full product, and, you know, not being so grimy, is a good thing. But
I hear moral compass and think someone just went to the Tumblr side of things and cherry picked some words.
I will say that I think that what they are doing is kind of realizing, I'm not going to say the change in times, but the change in some gamers' attitudes where they don't want to pay $60, $70 for a video game only for them to then have to invest. Actually, it's not even so much of an investment because you will lose the money, but gamble their money away for something that has the possibility of coming to you. Like at that point, it's like, what's the point? Like I don't need any of this. I'm good. Thank you. Hopefully, maybe, you know, one day EA will be back in my good graces, but...
No.
Well, then, I guess there's that.
This statement is a lie.
All right. But now we get to talk about something that... Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm surprised I was able to watch it before you.
Well, you know, I still have, you know, day job stuff and whatnot, but...
Are you saying I don't have a day job?
No, Did I? Oh my goodness. The sass. Can we tone it down to like 2?
I was gone for a week, dude. No.
Anywho. So, Nintendo did want us to let us know Luigi is alive, just mostly dead.
I mean, the side I had it coming.
I'm sorry, but that was... Okay, so first they opened up with Luigi's Mansion, at Luigi from Luigi's Mansion in what seems to be a weird dungeon, and then after that it opened up to there's death, and you know you have Luigi. I'm gonna fight you with my Poltergeist. I think it's Poltergeist 3000, and dies. But wait, you have Simon Belmont coming in.
You know,
oh yeah.
You know, hearing how hype you were, given I never played these games as a children, I was just kind of like, oh,
as a children.
like, oh, what is this? Oh, okay, cool. Everybody's hyped now.
Well, yeah. Like, I'm just so.
It's a man in a loincloth.
Okay, it's more than
It's
just a
He-Man, but with zombies.
Are you trying to hurt me?
Is this
That's
what was going through my head.
Oh, Celestia, help her. Anyway, I loved the introduction of the characters. Now, though technically they're the same character, and Simon and Richter are just simply echo characters.
Richter is the echo characters.
Yeah, Richter is the echo character of Simon. We will ignore that, because not only did we get those two characters, we also got one more, and it wasn't Waluigi, but we have King K. Rool.
I thought you were about to bring up Black Samus.
I was getting to that.
Oh.
Well, there goes that introduction. Okay. Yes, we also have Dark Samus. Not Black Samus, Dark Samus.
Wait, what did I say?
Black Samus.
Oh, I mean... What? Tomato, like, homegirl add on black armor. So that's the first thing that popped in my head.
Okay.
I mean, the other thing that I found exciting about this whole thing was that Knuckles is an assist trophy. Wait, who else? Zero is an assist trophy. Oh man, I heard the cries throughout Chicago going, why is Zero an assist trophy?
What, do they want Zero to actually be in the game?
What do you think? It's Zero.
But why?
Because it's Zero, and out of all of those androids, Zero was the hottest to me. But I digress.
Okay.
Who else got... Silver Knight's also in it now as an assist
trophy.
And again, I heard the cries throughout Chicago.
Okay, I would have liked to play as Shovel Knight. You know, I can dig it. Oh, man.
Get out.
No. This is my office, okay? You should be used to this. I've got puns in spades.
Maybe I should have been kidnapped. Anyway, geez, so much happened in this Nintendo Direct.
Yes, we have over 800 songs. We have
about 900 actually, if you include everything else in it.
Yeah, so we have over 800 songs. Technically, I'm still correct.
Oh, Jesus.
Over 800 songs, and with all of the stages and all the different variations of said stages, I think they said about...
It's 103.
Yeah, 103.
And if you take away the Final Destinations ones, it's exactly 100.
And I will say...
Oh, sorry, go.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, that Stage More thing looked awesome.
But not only that, but they also said... So, I don't know if you noticed, but I also commentate occasionally at Raid Gaming Lounge. You should definitely hit them up, Google them. They're on Facebook as well. And they actually have a proper tournament mode. And with all the special features that are going to be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's going to make it really easy to actually hold tournaments.
Oh, goodness. What was there was just so much. The other thing, the training mode looked fun, so maybe I can stop being such a scrub at this game.
Hey, we could totally, I could totally train.
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
No.
Why are you just so adamantly against that?
No, this is not Rocky. Because you would be having that playing in the background while we do this.
Okay, maybe. But yes, I Dark Samus, yes. King K. Rool, yes. The Vampire Brothers, Killer Brothers, yes. Give me all that. Now, here's what I think's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be 100% completely wrong about this.
Mm-hmm.
What if last character that's introduced to the game before it comes out is Waluigi?
He's an assist trophy. Why would they do that?
Why would they? Do you know who? Why would they make Ridley, who was a boss in Brawl, a fighter?
Look, if Waluigi... That's 2 memes that would be dead. Yeah.
But do you know how many people would buy the game just to play it, though?
Just to play
to play
the meme character.
Do you know how many? Okay, I still
play Walter.
I still play Mario Tennis Aces. I find so many Waluigis, You cannot go from the wah. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere. Now, just December 7th, correct?
I think so. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about, aside from the fact that you can play the music on your Switch on the go.
Okay, yeah.
Which is dumb.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm probably just going to listen to it probably right.
I mean, that is nice. I will say that is a pretty nice feature. I'm not going to be using my Switch as an MP3 player because I have an MP3 player. It's called my phone.
Yeah, I'd rather my phone get jacked than my Switch. Thank you very much.
Right.
My phone at least has insurance.
Right.
But
you were saying.
But one of the tourney modes or something like that I thought was so petty and it's going to be so fun at parties is when you have to pick the characters, and after you pick that character can't be played anymore until the whole roster's gone. I saw that and I'm like, oh, my house is going to be filled with salt. There will be salt. I will have enough salt for my race to last a decade.
Now, you brought up something that kind of popped inside my head, Miss Duvall. So there's going to be a whole lot in this game, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, one interesting thing that has happened with a few games for the Nintendo Switch is that you will get the game physically, but then let's just say 2/3 of it have to be downloaded. And I don't want that to happen with the Switch. For example, last week I covered the Spyro Trilogy Reignited. And how you get when you buy the physical copy of the game, you get the first game that's actually physical, but Ripto's Rage and Year of the Dragon are downloads, which means that the game isn't truly physical. And we already know that there's going to be a metric crap ton in this game already. So it's something that's in the back of my head, like, is this going to be, like, you get all this, like, is everything going to be in that cartridge? Everything.
Hopefully.
Everything. Because here's the other thing, too. Last Smash game had DLC. Now, though this is called Smash Ultimate, and they've already had everything from the previous games in here, I mean, obviously, there's still so many more things that they could introduce. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but as I'm trying to control my hype, this is something that I'm definitely using to control that. Because I don't want to be... Please don't let this game burn me. I wasn't going to pre-order anything else. Really, really thinking about pre-ordering this one.
It's okay, Growlithe. You got this. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. I really hope it isn't going to be a bunch of DLC later on. I don't see them doing that anytime soon, given how big and massive this game is to begin with.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping that this is going to be something that is like, boom, all one and done. Just that's it. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And with that being said, this is Mr. Gamer.
And this is Kitty the Vol.
Signing off.